Right now, at 6 community members gather in Arma to celebrate and honor local veterans.
And we've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area this morning. We'll talk about how long those storms will last and whether there's more on the way coming up.
Plus, auditions for Rocky Horror Picture Show take place at the Triple Threat Theater in Pittsburgh.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday.
Yes, here we are.
And we've made it through the weekend. Pretty decent weekend. Some showers. Yes. It was cool outside. You know, it wasn't that bad. Could have been worse. I mean, it's still August, so yes. I mean, we know it can get pretty nasty around here. We've got some rain this morning going on as well.
Yes, we do.
We need that rain across the area, especially in the southeastern Kansas. We're starting to get into drought conditions across parts of Elk, Chautauqua, and Montgomery counties out there. So thankfully, that's exactly where, at least right now, some of the bulk of this heavier rain is across those key areas in the southeastern Kansas out there. So on the Missouri side, a few stray showers. Now, these little ones that are paired up here, that's just a bad radar return. But we do have a few stray showers around Monette, and that's about it so far on the Missouri side. Light rain now south of Miami, getting into Grove, Jay, Veneta. Some heavier showers, a couple of thunderstorms around Nowata and out to the west. So Bartlesville, Ramona, and west of 75, we have a decent line of showers and storms. No severe weather, nor are we expecting any, but some heavier rain, certainly some loud storms out there for some of you. We're going to watch along 35 between Wichita and Emporia for any additional shower and storm development, because that's where a lot of this has been coming from, is that zone there as it pushes off to the east-southeast. So Independence, Howard, Fredonia, you're just outside of some heavy rain. Sedan, it is right on top of you. And Parsons starting to get some moderate rainfall out there as well. Coffeyville, you have more on the way, because again, all of this activity moving off to the east-southeast. So we'll watch for additional development through these zones, and that'll continue through the morning hours. And then once we hit about noon, 1 o'clock, we'll start to see these showers and storms wrapping up and kicking out of here, and some clearing taking place. So depending on how much clearing takes place, how much sunshine you see, it'll determine how warm you're going to get today. But most of us looking to go into the upper 80s. Sitting at 71 in Joplin, 69 in Pittsburgh. Cloudy skies out there. Temperatures this morning not too far from normal for most of us. We're low mid 70s with some upper 60s sprinkled in, and Yates Center at this point still the warm spot at 74. Again, highs for most of us today expected into the upper 80s. Some of you, if you stay a little cloudy or a little longer, may only make the low 80s. Showers and storms wrap up by noon, 1 o'clock. We'll have partly cloudy skies into the evening. Then we'll have another round of storms as we head into our Tuesday morning. We'll break down the details on that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Thanks, Chris. Ottawa County residents in need of a storm shelter now have an opportunity to apply for a FEMA grant that offers a potential $3,000 rebate. To qualify, applicants must be homeowners, and the storm shelter must be for their primary residence, and the property cannot already have a storm shelter. Residents interested in applying can meet with the Ottawa County Emergency Management. Applications will continue to be accepted for the next 3 weeks. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. Well, Triple Threat Theatrics held auditions yesterday at Pittsburgh High School for a stage version of the 1975 Rocky Horror Picture Show. Auditions took place in the high school auditorium from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. yesterday evening. The Pittsburgh-based theater group scheduled 2 dates for September 26th through the 28th.
So today is a little bit different. Rocky Horror can be a fairly dance or movement heavy show, so we came out, we did dance auditions first just to get people up on stage and, you know, comfortable warming up, things like that. And then they go through and they will sing as well. And today we're doing kind of a cappella auditions. We're not doing backing tracks or telling them what to sing. They come in with something prepared and they jump in and do it. So
about 28 people auditioned for the show. Arma Homecoming was celebrated this past weekend with hundreds of Southeast Kansas community members attending the parade and the events along with it. The history behind Arma Homecoming is based on the 78-year tradition that started by welcoming home local soldiers from World War II.
Started by our veterans. It was the 8 million people that returned from World War II. So they're honoring their grandfathers or fathers, and also it's just significant that we celebrate and honor all veterans who served in our country. So that's why they're always front and center in our parades.
The homecoming event had a kids fishing derby, a bocce tournament, and a free polka concert. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. A federal appeals court sided with the states to block further implementation of a student loan repayment plan. Plus, new concerns over cyber threats after the Trump campaign said it was hacked over the weekend. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Monday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning. Layoffs are on the way at Paramount. Thursday, the media conglomerate announced its plan to slash 2,000 U.S. jobs. This comes as Paramount prepares to merge with Skydance Media. The company has seen its valuation plunge in the last 5 years, with shares falling nearly 80%. The layoffs are a part of Paramount's bid to trim $500 million in annual costs company-wide ahead of the merger. The job cuts will reportedly impact what the company calls redundant functions in marketing and communications, as well as finance, legal, technology, and other support functions. A former Twitter board member is suing the social media company now known as X for $20 million in pay. According to a lawsuit filed on Friday in California, Omid Kordestani claims Elon Musk refused to cash out more than $20 million worth of shares. Kordestani joined Twitter's board in 2015, overseeing the sale of the company to Musk in 2022. However, Musk allegedly refused to pay out stock held by the former board member after the closing of the deal. So far, X has not responded to the lawsuit. A federal appeals court on Friday sided with states to block further implementation of a student loan repayment plan known as Saving on the Valuable Education, or SAVE. The plan lowers monthly payments on student debt, and the fate of President Joe Biden's plan is tied up in 2 legal challenges from Republican-led states. 3 judges said the Education Department can't move forward until the larger legal challenge is resolved. The court further said the states suing have the better legal argument. The only thing the Biden administration can do is ask the Supreme Court to lift the lower court's order. For now, the 8 million borrowers enrolled in SAVE are still not required to make monthly payments. New concerns over cyber threats to the 2024 presidential race have emerged after the Trump campaign said over the weekend that it was hacked. It comes as Vice President Kamala Harris and running mate Tim Walz wrapped up a campaign tour through several key battleground states. The one new campaign promise from Harris has drawn backlash from former President Donald Trump. Carissa Lawson has more from New York.
Wow. Over the weekend, former President Donald Trump said his campaign was hacked, and he blamed Iran. Both Politico and The Washington Post reported that they had received what appeared to be internal Trump documents, including research on Trump's running mate J.D. Vance from an anonymous email account.
What I think we're seeing is the Russification of Iranian information operations.
On Sunday, Trump falsely claimed Vice President Kamala Harris's rally crowds were fake on social media, and he lashed out at this pledge Harris made to more than 12,000 people in Las Vegas over the weekend.
When I am president, we will continue our fight for working families of America, including to raise the minimum wage and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
The Trump-Vance campaign called Harris a copycat for echoing Trump's earlier proposal to end taxes on tips. Meanwhile, Vance voiced support for a Democratic policy, the child tax credit, on CBS's Face the Nation Sunday.
We should expand the child tax credit. If you think about what the child tax credit does.
So you and the Biden administration agree on the child care tax credit?
Well, we think it should be bigger.
Also on CBS News Sunday, President Joe Biden gave his first interview since dropping out of the 2024 race.
A number of my Democratic colleagues in the House and Senate thought that I was going to hurt them in the races. And I thought it'd be a real distraction.
The president also said he plans to campaign for Harris. Carissa Lawson, CBS News.
So far, Iran's representative to the United Nations has ignored requests for comments on the Trump campaign's hacking claims. Tonight, former President Trump is expected to do an interview with Elon Musk, owner of X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. Now to look at some of today's top national stories, here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got a few scattered showers and thunderstorms across the region, as you can see on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Back into southeastern Kansas, Independence, Dan, Howard getting in on some heavy rainfall out there. And it stretches back, and we're watching for additional development right along the 35 corridor as well. No severe weather is expected. One thing I want to emphasize, but some much needed rain on the way. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
A California couple has gone from serving Happy Meals to happily ever after. 6 years after meeting while working at McDonald's, they're engaged and about to walk down the aisle. Sakira Gray shares the story that will have you saying, "I'm loving it."
A match made in McDonald's. 6 years ago, between the McNuggets and McFlurries, Joseph Gomez and Abby Armienta's McLove story began.
We both started working at McDonald's, and our coworkers instantly thought that Abby and I would be a good match.
Little did the two know they'd pair like a burger and fries, but they needed a little push. Their McDonald's team members orchestrated a plan to get them together. What was supposed to be a team bonding event at the movies turned into the couple's unofficial first date.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah. No, I wasn't here for these two. Nobody shows up except for Abigail and I. They kind of booby-trapped us to set us up on sort of a blind date.
But the rest was McHistory. Come September, they're tying the knot.
We have come such a long way. It's crazy to think that in just a month we're going to get married. I'm so excited, and I'm just looking forward to everything that's kind of coming next.
The same coworkers who set them up will be there to hear them say, "I do." Thanks to their McDonald's family, wedding guests will get to snack on cheeseburgers and apple pies at the after party. Roseville McDonald's owner Jordan Ruiz says the couple isn't the first to fall in love under the Golden Arches, and they certainly won't be the last.
I met my wife at McDonald's, so and one of my supervisors, she met her husband at McDonald's, so you know, love's always in the air.
Though the couple's days of serving up Happy Meals is over, they're now getting something better, a happy ending.
Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
We've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there this morning. We're going to have another look at your forecast, talk about rain today, tomorrow, and when the heat returns when we return. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:20 now on this Monday morning. Skywatch Storm Tracker showing us scattered showers and thunderstorms across southeastern Kansas and some rain moving into our portion of northeastern Oklahoma as well. On the Missouri side, again, you can tell, and this is how you know they're bad radar returns because they follow this same expanding pattern. But these little showers are authentic. Not much out there on the Missouri side this morning. It's all right now back into southeastern Kansas. So Fredonia, it's knocking on your back door. Yates Center, we have some new development taking place near you as well. Now exiting Howard, Sedan is in the thick of it. Got a pretty good thunderstorm right here over Elk and Chautauqua County. Coffeyville, Independence, getting some heavier rain. Coffeyville, you're in the middle middle of some heavy rain out there. Parsons, Oswego, some light showers. Columbus, you are up next. And we're seeing some heavier rain start to develop into Newcastle County, back toward Washington County. These thunderstorms out here to the west of Bartlesville, stretching down toward the Skiatook region. All of this, again, moving east-southeast across the area. And it's along the 35 corridor between Emporia and Wichita that we've seen a lot of this activity into southeast Kansas develop. And you can see we're getting additional new development that's taking place here and there. And that will be the case as we go through the morning. Now, the good news is it's well, there's two pieces of good news, honestly. It's bringing much needed rain because we're at drought status for parts of southeastern Kansas, including Elk, Chautauqua, and Montgomery counties, where you're getting some of this heavier rainfall. On top of that, we're not anticipating any severe weather. That's the last thing we need to deal with. We just need some rain, and that's what we're getting. Now, by about noon, 1 o'clock, this activity will be dying out, and we'll start to clear out a bit. But some of you may hold on to clouds a little longer than others, so that might keep some of us into the low 80s for highs, but most of the region looking to go upper 80s. As we go overnight tonight, after midnight, we'll get another round of initially isolated to widely scattered showers and storms, and then we'll get a bigger complex that's going to come through on our Tuesday. Again, not anticipating severe weather, but some heavy rain, some thunderstorms out there will definitely be the case for us, and it'll last through the first half of our Tuesday. Then we get into the second half, so after noon on Tuesday, this activity begins to die out or become a little more isolated to widely scattered, and by late evening Tuesday, it is gone. As we head into our Wednesday, we're going to have mostly clear skies and temperatures starting to heat up across the area as we start punching into the low to mid 90s across the area on our Wednesday. Taking a live look from our camera, 7th and Range Line in Joplin, looking good so far. It's cloudy, 71, south breeze at 11, and as we look at temperatures around the area, the majority of it's not too far off of normal. We've got upper 60s in the southeastern portion of our area. You start going low to mid 70s as you head a little further north and west. And through the morning, again, we'll have those scattered thunderstorms across the area and be about the low to mid 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Heading into the afternoon, highs today, again, for most of us, upper 80s, but some of you may not make it out of the low 80s. Not that you would complain about this by any means, but we'll really start to heat up, though, as we get into that clearing. So that's the thing. The rain cloud cover will keep us pretty steady in the 70s through the morning. And once you start to clear out, it will heat up. It's going to get somewhat uncomfortable because it'll heat up pretty quickly, and it's going to be fairly muggy out there. Partly cloudy skies through the evening, overnight lows around the low 70s, and again after midnight, initially some isolated storms, and then we'll see a few more widespread storms in the first half of our Tuesday. Highs about 90. Hot and muggy. Could see heat index values close to 100 on Wednesday as we go into the mid 90s. Mid 90s Thursday, some evening storms, and we'll stay hot heading into next week, but not terrible, just not pleasant either as we go low to mid 90s. That is a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise with Health Watch.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, cancer cases and deaths among men are expected to nearly double by 2050. A new study published in the journal Cancer says seniors and those living in lower developed countries will bear the brunt of those increases. Researchers say men have higher cancer rates because they don't avoid risk factors or get screened as much as women. Universal free meal programs at school lowers obesity and suspension rates. Researchers with Texas A&M analyzed 6 studies that covered 11,000 elementary, middle, and high schools. The data also showed a greater meal participation by students, but only a slight improvement in attendance rates. The FDA approved a needle-free version of the EpiPen. Neffy, made by ARS Pharmaceuticals, is an epinephrine nasal spray that can be used to treat anaphylaxis and other allergic reactions in both children and adults. The FDA says Neffy's approval came because studies found comparable epinephrine blood concentrations between the spray and injection products. Well, a Philadelphia doctor and his former patient are on a mission to help others in need of life-saving organ transplants. Stephanie Stahl has their story.
Hey. Hey, Steve, how are you?
It's a friendship that started 30 years ago when Dr. Stephen Dunn saved Diego Garcia's life.
I first met Diego when he was a child who needed to have a liver transplant.
In 1994, when Diego was 4, he became one of the smallest patients to get part of a liver that was split for 2 patients.
So you can take one liver and
Right.
do 2 transplants.
Yes. It was about trying to create more transplants for children who would die otherwise.
Diego's family from Bolivia came to Philadelphia for the transplant, and when Dr. Dunn learned of the need there, he began traveling to South America to help other patients.
During all of those visits back to Bolivia, I would see Diego.
And they formed a special bond and now travel between the 2 countries to visit.
I feel really comfortable with them. It's like a family for me. My family and I will always be grateful for him, for all his help he's doing for us, and not only for us, also for Bolivian people.
Now they're working together to improve transplants in Bolivia and enjoying family time together.
We were going through rapids.
Recently on a float trip from Colorado to Utah.
And we had a wonderful 4 days out in the West, sleeping under the stars.
This doctor-patient relationship has blossomed into what's become their international family.
He's he knows, he's like my second dad.
Your second
Like
dad.
American dad.
I think he's very handsome and I'm jealous. No.
The little boy he saved, now healthy and running a business in Bolivia, looking forward to their next time together.
See you soon.
Stephanie Stahl, CBS News.
Garcia and Dr. Dunn are also working with Gift of Life, which is marking its 50th anniversary by working to register 50,000 new organ donors. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, a Makers Market in Joplin brings together vendors and community.
And we've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area. We're going to have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, Swifties in Neosho come together to celebrate their love for the international superstar.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Monday morning here in the 4 states, and at least on the Missouri side in Joplin, as you saw on our camera, got a really neat looking sunrise
I know,
out
it's
there.
Gorgeous.
This morning, thanks to all the clouds. We had a few showers overnight, and we've got a few more scattered showers and storms this morning, bringing us some much needed rain.
Absolutely.
We're going to start there, too, with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We're actually starting to see this activity kind of fill in across southeastern Kansas. We'll take a look at that here in just a moment. There's a couple isolated showers to the northeast of Cassville. Again, right now, for the most of us on the Missouri side, we are dry this morning. We head back into Oklahoma. Miami, you're drying out for now. Grove, Jay, Veneta, some light showers out there. Same in Newata. Bartlesville, right along and west of 75. We've got some heavier thunderstorm activity out there. Coffeyville, you've got a good thunderstorm rolling through right now. And then we're watching, again, this zone here start to fill in. In fact, I'm going to drag this a little further north. So from Burlington, west of Yates Center, Fredonia, Howard, we're seeing this line of showers and storms fill in across the area. And we've still got some pretty decent rainfall. Independence, Sedan, you've got a pretty nice thunderstorm right there over you in Chautauqua County. Some heavier rain just to the south of Parsons. And we're going to start to see showers rolling into Columbus and into Cherokee County here before too much longer. All of this activity, again, moving east-southeast. And if you watch, you'll see just kind of this area start to fill in. We're not expecting any severe weather this morning, but we are getting some decent thunderstorms and a decent amount of rainfall, which is great news for some of us, especially in the southeastern Kansas, where we're now at drought status. So we need this rain, and it seems Mother Nature is answering that call for us. By about noon, 1 o'clock, the last of these showers and storms are out of here. We'll actually start to see some clearing as we head into the afternoon and evening. That depending on how quickly you clear out, that will determine how hot you get today. Regardless, so it's going to be a bit on the muggy side thanks to all the rain out there and the additional rain chances on the way. 71 in Joplin, 69 in Pittsburgh. Around the area, temperatures are relatively close to average. Upper 60s down to the southeastern portion of our area. And as you head further northwest, we start to go into the low 70s. So not a bad way to start the day. As we get our day again underway, shower storms through about noon, 1 o'clock. They'll begin to clear on out of here. That will keep us in the 70s for most of us for the first half of our day. And then again, as we get to that clearing, the majority of us looking to see highs into the upper 80s. It's going to warm up pretty quickly for those who clear out quickly. So be prepared for it to suddenly get muggy and unpleasant out there. And again, some of you, though, may not make it out of the low 80s today, depending again on how long the clouds stick around. This is not our only chance of rain this week. Got some more storms coming in tomorrow morning. We'll look at those details in the full forecast a little later. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Well, the Kids Fishing Derby was held in Arma, Kansas yesterday. The Derby is part of the final day of this past weekend's Arma VJ Homecoming celebration. Area businesses sponsored the event with more than $800 worth of fishing tackle and accessories up for grabs. Competitors ranged from ages 2 to 15.
They have one every year. I don't know how many they've had. As far as I can remember, we've always had one. We care about the kids, and we are happy to put this on, and hopefully I can continue to put it on for years to come.
57 kids attended the event. Water Gardens in Joplin held a back-to-school event, and participants were encouraged to write a letter to a local elderly person, and in exchange they could get a $10 voucher for any item in the thrift store and a haircut voucher to be used at a local stylist. Guests could also get their face painted and enjoy some popsicles.
Sometimes Watered Gardens is seen as just a homeless, help for the homeless, and that's not what we want to convey. We want to convey that we help the homeless, but as well we help the community, that our non-homeless community as well. So we want people to know that we offer services like we have a mission market for food, we have our garden exchange for clothing, and that is open for partnership, or our garden exchange is open for cash purchase as well.
We have more back-to-school events listed on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, St. Philip's Church in Joplin hosted a maker's market in its parking lot. Around 7 vendors were available for people to enjoy. They were selling products from food to glass beads and even pet memorials. Vendor fees go to fundraise for the church.
Well, Melissa, she does the food over there. She approached me and she's like, hey, you like to sell things on the side. What do you think of this idea? And so we brought it to the church, had to go through a committee and get approved. And then once it got approved, we started doing it.
The next market will be held on September 14th. Well, businesses in downtown Neosho held a Taylor Swift scavenger hunt. Participants were to go to 14 businesses and take a picture of a secret item for the hunt. The event also included snake handling, a Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce costume contest, and Taylor Swift karaoke and trivia.
We pair up with the Chamber of Commerce and we use their Experience Neosho app. So once you get on the app, you get directed through the whole scavenger hunt. And there are clues at each of the restaurants, and the different merchants here around the square have clues, and you answer the clue or submit a photo, and it just takes you around the whole square.
Winners of the hunt were given gift cards to area businesses. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Fall is still over a month away, but retailers are starting to release their pumpkin spice products. And rain chances return. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch this morning, restaurant owners in New York are speaking out about the impact minimum wage increases for delivery workers are having on their small businesses. It comes as many eateries are being hit with higher service fees in order to make up for the pay increases. Antoine Lewis has more.
During the pandemic, Rincon Salvadoreno in Jamaica, Queens relied on delivery orders to stay in business. But owner Elena Bersena says an increase in delivery fees from third-party app-based services is now the threat. With New York City's minimum wage increase of nearly $20 an hour in full effect, companies like DoorDash are charging restaurants more to use their app for deliveries.
As a small business owner, every pennies count for us. So the more fees, the less for us, and everything else has gone so much higher.
DoorDash held a roundtable discussion Thursday with restaurant owners, delivery workers, and city and state officials to discuss the impact.
It's impacting everyone. It's impacting consumers' pockets. It's impacting merchants, certainly Dashers. So everyone is feeling it. And that's why we want to work together with the city to find sort of solutions that we can all work together on to alleviate, these expenses that are hurting everybody's pockets.
While the minimum wage increase is being welcomed by many, Lihio Alipa is executive director of Workers' Justice Project, which helped fight for the increase.
What we did with the minimum pay law is make sure that workers don't have to depend solely on tips as their main source of income. And establishing a minimum pay is making sure and guaranteeing that a delivery driver is taking that risk on the road to make that delivery.
However, some delivery drivers say they're still struggling because the new rules have created a reduction in delivery orders.
I spent 40 hours. I would only be dashing 23 hours for the lack of work, and that's not good.
Elena may create a prefix menu specific for deliveries.
Maybe I will need to make a special menu just for the platforms and consider different options.
Well, Disney made some big announcements at its D23 convention over the weekend. The company is expanding its cruise line, adding 4 new ships between 2027 and 2031. Disney is also adding new attractions to its theme parks, including an Avatar experience at its Disneyland Anaheim location and new section dedicated to Disney's villains at the Magic Kingdom in Florida. Well, it was a good weekend at the box office for married actors Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Reynolds' Deadpool and Wolverine was on top again, pulling in just over $54 million in North America. Lively's It Ends With Us debuted at second with around $50 million, and Twisters took third, pulling in $15 million. And the first day of fall is still over a month away, but already retailers are releasing their pumpkin spice products. Starting today, Krispy Kreme is serving up its pumpkin spice cake, donut, and pumpkin spice latte. 7-Eleven released a pumpkin spice Slurpee earlier this month, but at just 5 locations. And Dunkin' has announced the release of an alcoholic spiced pumpkin spice iced latte that'll be sold at grocery and package stores in 27 states. That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms overspread in the area. Most of them confined into southeastern Kansas and now developing back into northeastern Oklahoma as all this activity continues to push off to the east-southeast, and we're getting some little scattered showers developing from a complex just east of Kansas City up into Bates County around the Butler area. So all we've got right now really on our area on the Missouri side is these few isolated showers to the south, to the east of Cassville, and then we've got these isolated showers scattered throughout Bates County around Butler in Missouri. Then we head down to northeastern Oklahoma. Miami, you are dry but cloudy. Light showers, Grove, Jay, Veneta. Thunderstorms to the northeast of Newada and entering the Bartlesville area and around Coffeyville. And then into southeastern Kansas, we've got these little showers and storms now getting into Yates Center to the east of Burlington, west of Iola. Fredonia, you're in a little shower now. You get some heavier rain off to your west. Sedan really getting in on a good thunderstorm there. Again, no severe weather, but nonetheless, a much needed rainfall. Independence, again, Coffeyville as well, and Parsons. You got some showers just to your south. Columbus getting ready to get in on the action with some showers rolling into Cherokee County as well. We're going to take a full look at your forecast, talk about these storms this morning, some storms coming in tomorrow morning, and what kind of temperatures we're looking at here in just a few more minutes. We're also going to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. Those are coming up after the break. But first, here's what's happening on CBS Mornings.
Hello to you, I'm Gail King. Coming up on CBS Mornings, with the Olympics now over, we're going to show you what happens to the venues when the games leave town. Who cleans up? Plus, David Begnaud, he's back with part 2 of his profile of a beloved judge known for his compassion and one of my favorite words, kindness from the bench. That's coming right up on CBS Mornings.
All right, time for some Monday birthdays in the 4 states. We're going to start in Carthage with Tobias Borland celebrating birthday number 4. Happy birthday.
And happy 7th birthday to Olivia Ross.
And in Chanute, Crystal Box celebrating birthday number 30 with love from all your family.
And over in Thayer, a happy 59th birthday to John Bauer.
And in Chanute as well, Chuck Chandler celebrating birthday number 71. Happy birthday, Chuck.
And happy 79th birthday to David Crockett over in Lamar.
And Stanley Rion celebrating birthday number 83. Happy birthday.
Over in Arma, happy 99th birthday to Angie Carpino.
And in Columbus, Stephanie Farstvet celebrating another year wiser. Happy birthday.
And over in Pittsburgh, a happy birthday to Mavis Brenner. Says here, happy birthday from the Crestline girls.
And in Crestline, Fred and Angie Edwards celebrating their 18th year of wedded bliss. Happy anniversary to the Edwards.
And a happy 34th anniversary to Mike and Tina Omi.
And we've got Charles and Sharon Tillman celebrating their 41st wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary.
And continuing our list with Bill Craig turning 66 today. Happy birthday.
And Ella Buzzard celebrating birthday number 76 in Columbus. Happy birthday.
And a happy birthday to Taylor Beard.
And in Altamont, Mary and Richard Hayward celebrating their 34th year of wedded bliss. It says here, thank you, Mary, for standing by my side for all these years. Very happy anniversary to the Haywards. And a very happy birthday and anniversary to everybody on this list. Yes. Not a bad list for a Monday. Yeah. And we, of course, love celebrating these special days with you folks at home. And if you want to celebrate with us, Elise can tell you what to do.
Yes, go ahead and submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@komnewsnow.com and be sure to meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen.
All right, so we've got some scattered showers and storms out there. So this is the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've got a speckling of showers around in Bates County and around the Butler area. That's stemming off of a thunderstorm complex now east of Kansas City heading into Columbia. And then we've got more thunderstorms across southeastern Kansas and rolling across northeastern Oklahoma. On the Missouri side, we've got this stray shower in Berry County, and that is really about it other than the activity back in Bates County. However, I'm going to move a little further north first. We're going to start just east of Burlington and into Yates Center, south of Yates Center. We've got some thunderstorms out there, some heavier rain. So Garnett, it's probably going to clip you on the south side. Iola, Chanute, you're going to get some thunderstorm activity before too much longer. Of course, this will continue to push off toward Erie and eventually toward Girard, Pittsburgh, Fort Scott. Fredonia, you've got some showers and storms on your back door right now. A little heavier shower and then more off to your west. Howard, got another round of showers and storms coming in. Sedan, you've been in the thick of a pretty good thunderstorm. Get nothing severe by any means, but nonetheless a very loud start for folks in Chautauqua County. Independence, Coffeyville, getting in on some showers and storms as well. Now stretching all the way east to Columbus and getting ready to roll into parts of Baxter Springs, Galena, and Riverton. Oswego, you're getting the showers just south of Parsons. Coffeyville, of course, getting in on the action back in northeastern Oklahoma. A little pause in Miami. More rain and storms on the way. Light showers, Grove, Jay, Veneta, and Newata. Thunderstorms to the north of Newata and rolling into the Bartlesville area now. So as I mentioned, all of this activity is moving east-southeast, and we've seen this development take place here. Not expecting any additional development. Not to say it can't happen, but we're not expecting too much more than what you're seeing. But this stuff might, thicken up a bit, might pick up a bit. Still no severe weather expected, just some much needed rain across the region. And as you can see, we've got this kind of branching off now, blowing off to the east here. It's actually made it fairly dark in Joplin. By noon, 1 o'clock today, we're going to see the last of these showers and storms. We'll start to have some clearing taking place. Depending on how much clearing you see will determine how warm you get, but most of us are looking to go into the upper 80s. And that's going to be the other unpleasant side of this is once we get into the noon, 1 o'clock hour, and we start to see that clearing, we're going to be in the 70s through most of the morning under the rain. Once it's gone, temperatures are going to climb very quickly. Now, again, it's only into the upper 80s, but it's going to be muggy. It's going to get uncomfortable in a hurry out there, so just be aware of that. Overnight tonight, after midnight, we'll see another round of initially isolated to widely scattered showers and storms, and throughout the first half of our Tuesday, we'll see more rounds of showers and storms. And again, at this point, not anticipating any severe weather, but another loud start to the day for some of us. As we head into the afternoon on Tuesday, we're going to hold on to slightly better rain chances than what we'll see this afternoon today, because we'll clear out today, but could see an isolated or widely scattered shower and storm into the afternoon. But the best chances for more organized, more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity in the first half of our Tuesday. We clear out overnight and go into Wednesday, and Wednesday kicks off a trend of mostly clear skies initially, and then temperatures getting downright hot out there Wednesday and Thursday. So this is what I was talking about. The cloud cover from some of those storms reaching this far east, it's made it a little dark and spooky in Joplin now, but nothing happening yet. 70 71. South breeze at 11. Temperatures this morning have been relatively close to normal, upper 60s and low 70s across the region. And again, through the morning hours, we're going to kind of hold into the 70s, be about low mid 70s by 11, and we'll have those scattered thunderstorms continuing to work through the area. We'll have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know here in just a moment. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., a Hawaiian business rebuilds after last year's devastating wildfire.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Ottawa County residents in need of a storm shelter now have an opportunity to apply for a FEMA grant that offers a potential $3,000 rebate. To qualify, applicants must be homeowners. The storm shelter must be for their primary residence, and the property cannot already have a storm shelter. Residents interested in applying can meet with the Ottawa County Emergency Management. Well, applications will continue to be accepted for the next 3 weeks. Watered Gardens in Joplin held a back-to-school event. Participants were encouraged to write a letter to a local elderly person, and in exchange, they could get a $10 voucher for any item in the thrift store and a haircut voucher to be used at a local stylist. The Arma Homecoming was celebrated over the weekend with hundreds of Southeast Kansas community members attending the parade and the events along with it. The history behind Arma Homecoming is based on the 78-year tradition that started by welcoming home local soldiers from World War II. The homecoming event had a kids fishing derby, a bocce tournament, and a free polka concert. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And we'll have those showers and storms through the morning hours. They'll start to clear out afternoon today, and we'll start to clear out our skies. Depending on how much clearing you see will determine how warm you get. Most of us upper 80s, but some low 80s for highs are absolutely possible as well. Partly cloudy through the evening, 77 by 10. After midnight, a few isolated to widely scattered showers and storms, lows into the low 70s. And then we'll see more widespread thunderstorms for the first half of our Tuesday. A few isolated storms in the afternoon. We'll go about 90. Hot and muggy. Heat index values near 100 on Wednesday. And then some evening storms Thursday. We'll stay hot heading into next week as we hang out in the low to mid 90s. But at least today and tomorrow getting some much needed rain.
Absolutely. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making fancy fast chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Your morning news continues on KOM with CBS Mornings. There's big medical news about needle-free alternatives for people at risk to severe allergic reactions. Ahead on CBS Mornings, Dr. Celine Gounder will explain the new treatment and when it will be available to you.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Brent Dinger joins us in the studio to talk about Baxter Springs Jeep invasion.
Plus, Juliana Crow and Nick Howard also join us in studio to talk about the Bulldog Block Party. However, it's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.